We round out our show today with what you need to know.
And today we ask, will there be any more government handouts? And if so, who will get them?
But first, check out this cartoon that was in USA Today. It says, can I see the bailouts? Can I see the bailout section, honey? Oh, my gosh, it's funny, but not really. Peter!
Especially since we're the ones that are doing the bailing.
Yeah.
Well, you need to know. I was on Wachovia getting bailed out. But they still think that they might. But look, today gold was up $85 an ounce. That's a small taste of things to come. There are a lot more days like this coming in the future. The dollar got hammered today. Again, the end result of all of this is going to be a collapse of our currency. Buy gold now while it's still under $1,000.
Yeah, before it goes to $100,000. Pat Dorsey, what say you about whether there will be more bailouts?
I think the government is probably going to draw the line at depository institutions. One of the reasons you're seeing this shotgun wedding, perhaps, between Morgan Stanley and Wachovia is that John Mack realizes that he doesn't affect Main Street the way, say, a WAMU or a Wachovia does, or a Sovereign. And they let Lehman die. They could let Morgan die. They could let Goldman die. They won't let a depository institution die.
Oh, Jonas, what do we...
I'd like to say one positive thing, which is if we can get through this, the remaining banks will be epic performers over the next decade. That's a long shot. But now as to who's going to get the money next, I'm not going to take the easy pickings like the WAMUs who are like $2 a share. I think the trifecta of giant banks that people think are too big to fail and are too big to fail, Citigroup, Bank of America, they ultimately are going to get some sort of government step in where they take possibly an ownership stake in those companies if we get a true panic and if home prices continue to fall, which is ultimately what will cause that.
And what about, hold on, I just have to ask, UBS, we haven't talked a lot about foreign banks having some real trouble.
Well, we're going to see, well, we've already seen in Germany, but their governments and central banks will be taking care of those problems. We're going to have to focus on our giant
Wayne,
problem.
you mentioned Glass-Steagall before. The fact that now you're going to have all these banks that have deposits to play with for their fancy investment instruments, is that dangerous?
Very dangerous, and I think the question is really, is Wachovia bailing out Morgan Stanley, or is Morgan Stanley bailing out Wachovia, or do we have two minuses here equal that may not equal a plus?
So is the government going to have to step in
By
again?
the way, though, what Jonas just said, I think has some truth to it. I own some Bank of America, which I've bought at a lower price. Am I ready to dump it yet? No, I'm willing to gamble a little there.
Boy, let's hope there are more of you out there.
And, down the line, we might see some other high-profile bankruptcies, other companies that nobody think might go bankrupt.
Well, down
like
the line,
GE.
we're all going to die. We have to keep that in mind.
I'm not talking about that far off.
He wants to get on record as saying GE's in trouble. Okay, we'll have the tape.
I said before, they're a hedge fund masquerading as a company.
Folks, let's get happy, all right?
Please, yes. Happy Hour's up next with Rebecca and Cody. We'll see you tomorrow.